Last week on the Personal Growth Podcast, Dwayne and Eric discussed multi-level marketing and pyramid schemes. This week, the boys invite you to celebrate Christmas with them as they are joined in studio by bar manager and cat enthusiast Shade Torres. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Personal Growth Podcast.
Fuck yeah. Cat lady bar manager. I didn't see that one coming, but that's a good one, man.
Now you can't tell if I'm like 22 or 65, so it's fine.
Yeah. Just by the sound of your voice, I'd guess not 65.
But probably closer to 16.
But you were talking. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that, but
well, that's why I'm here. To say the things nobody else wants to say.
I'm glad you're here, Eric.
Same.
I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be a guest. We're just like, this is a courtesy.
Oh, is this my Make-A-Wish?
Yep.
Yeah, my Make-A-Wish. That was awesome.
It's true. I don't know why this would be your Make-A-Wish, but hey, you know what? We're not here to judge.
Yeah,
we're all about
don't...
personal growth.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know. But like, seriously, speaking of personal growth, and being a bar manager and a cat lady, you go from, what was it, a year ago you started working at Liquid?
Just under, yeah.
Just under a year ago at Liquid, with being just a cocktailer, to 4 cats instead of 1. 3, whatever, I was being dramatic. Now being a bar manager and so many responsibilities and like people looking up to you, like how do you feel about that? Like, did you have that in your head before you got here, or like tell us your thought process?
No, once I started at Liquid, I was like, oh yeah, cocktailing, making all the money, and it was fun. It was so fun. And then watching Dwayne, master of making drinks, I was like, oh, I want to do that. And so then once I finally had the courage to ask Jeremy if I could become a bartender, I honestly kind of thought that was like where it was going to stop for me. I was like, okay, I'll just bartend and serve and it'll be awesome and whatever. And then I just noticed a gap in the responsibility at Liquid, and that somebody needed to fill this space and really take over what was happening, because nobody was doing it and it was a shit show for the servers. And just so many things were getting missed, and we needed, a head honcho, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went to Jeremy with the idea of, this is what I'm seeing, and these are the ideas that I have. But even then, that happened probably in August when I, first proposed it to him. Even then, I wasn't thinking that I would have all the responsibilities I have now. I was just thinking that I would, monitor the girls serving and actually doing their job.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, do the schedule, do inventory, do this and this and this. And I was like, okay, well, full-fledged manager at 20.
Yeah, no, it's super epic.
It's awesome. It's awesome, and it's a lot of work, but it's rewarding.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, it's interesting that you with the, I don't mean this in a negative way at all, but the lack of experience in a bar and still being able to see some of those gaps. I've been working there I've been working for Jeremy for almost 6 years. I've been working at that bar for almost 3 years. And some of the things that you've seen, I saw occasionally. And what am I, I'm just a bartender. And even whenever they had me in a position of management, there was no clear, hey, this is what we need from you. There's some obvious things, right? But if I'm working a sold out comedy show, I don't have time to be seeing everything else that's going on, regardless of whether it's a sold out show. But
yeah.
If drinks are my priority, I need to be able to have that be my priority and not try to manage people at the same time as the guy who's pouring drinks for them too. And I have a weird thing of, I don't think I'm a very good manager. I say things too bluntly and I offend people too easily, and I don't, there's a certain kind of person who can have this air of authority while still having a certain amount of compassion, and I'm not the guy that can do that. because I want to be like, you guys need to do better on pre-busing, and then it's not, you don't do better on pre-bus, not you, but the general, you don't do better on pre-busing, then I'm like, well, fuck you guys then.
Yeah, Jeremy and I actually
do what I say or go fuck yourselves.
Well, it's not for me, it's for you.
Yeah. No,
Like,
yeah.
because honestly, like, as the cocktailers are not pre-bussing, they're not getting the sales on the floor that they could be, because they're ending up bussing tables for 15, 20 minutes after the first show, when they could be spending that whole 20 minutes taking orders.
Yeah.
And I'm being a little, like, cut and dry there. I mean, obviously, depending on the shows, there's going to be more to bus and whatnot. There's a lot of different variables.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sometimes people get bussed in for the shows. There's a whole lot of bus situations happening.
Yeah. Lots of
and
buses.
Eric always comes in on the short bus, so
Yep, that is correct. It's because one of my legs is shorter than the other, and up till now, everybody's had the good grace not to mention it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Shade.
That's what I'm here for.
So we're talking about bar stuff. This is the Personal Growth Podcast. My question for you is, if we can change topic, how does a person develop going through their life with a name like Shade? How is that as a child? Like, and I'm
Do you guys
not
know
trying
the
to sound like
story?
a dick. I
No.
legitimately want to know, like,
No,
having a
I'll
name
tell
like
you.
Shade growing up.
I feel like you told me this story.
Okay, but do you guys know the story of how I got the name Shade?
Because when you were born, your mother knew that you were about to throw some at people.
No, I was around before that
Oh.
was a thing. But yeah. So okay, if you knew my families, it would make way more sense. But my dad's side of the family was sitting around the living room one day. My mom was not there. It was before I was born. They were honestly probably doing some puff puff pass, and they go, "Oh, what should we name the baby?" And then it was like, TV, remote, couch, ceiling fan, lampshade, Shade. And they already had my middle name picked out, so they were like, "Oh, Shade Rihanna, like that's cute." And then my mom had no idea that that's how they came up with the name until months after, and she was like, "If I had known, I would definitely not have named you that." But I always hated it. Like Shade. Nobody else has a name like Shade. You
Right.
know, I always was like, why can't I be a Haley or a Lauren? Or those were always the two names. If I had changed my names, those were the two I always wanted to pick between. But it sucks, but it's also, it comes with certain advantages because, you know, everybody remembers Shade. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you know me or how you're remembering me.
Context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I would like to think that most people remember me in a good way, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But it is one of those names that you hear once and you're like, oh, Shade. And that's cool because everybody knows me in like 3 degrees of separation or whatever.
Okay.
Because Boise's small. But I did really hate it because nobody else had a unique name.
And how did
like me.
How did that affect, like, as a child, like, with your friends? Was it?
Yeah, so in elementary school, one of my best guy friends ended up nicknaming me Shitty.
Stupid.
That's
Instead
just,
of Shady, it was Shitty. And
That's
so,
not creative at all.
No, it's not. But that was like my nickname
That
growing
doesn't even
up.
make sense.
No.
I don't know, but that was literally my nickname from like 4th grade till 8th
How old
grade.
is that kid now?
He's my age.
So we could beat his ass and it'd
Yes.
be legal.
Yeah, his name's Kobe
Kind of.
Roberts if you want to call
Kind
him.
of.
But no, and then I don't know. It also
She just
came.
threw him under the bus. Did you? His name's Colby Roberts. He lives at.
Yeah,
he
give us his address.
Let's
he's in-
go.
He's
We
in
know
a big,
some
he's in a
people
big
that
house
know
on
some
Warm
people.
Springs. Go get him.
No, I mean I didn't. That was not the nickname that I hated growing up. I mean my last name is Torres, and so I had this girl in elementary school. I think it was like kindergarten to 3rd grade that called me Tortoise, and that rubbed me the wrong way.
I thought
all
you
the
were
time.
going somewhere else. with
Shade Tortoise.
Yeah,
that. Tortoise.
that's one I hated. But I don't know. It came. I always have. This is the best part is that I always have people mispronouncing my name. They'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know if it was Sade," and I'm like, "No, it's Shade." Or
Sade.
yeah, Sade. I'm like,
Sade!
I'm like, that would be so much cooler. Like, my name's Sade.
Well, I
You
mean,
could
if you
do
wanted,
whatever you want
If you wanted to
forever.
be pretentious about it, just throw an accent on that bitch.
Exactly.
Throw an accent on that E.
I don't know. I always get pretentious with my middle name because I'm like, oh, I'm Rihanna, even though I'm definitely not even close. No, but my favorite story about someone mispronouncing my name is it was 8th grade. We had an English teacher substitute.
Okay.
They were substituting our English class, and they go, "Is Shad here?" I was like, "There's an E at the end, like
Shad.
Shad,
What's up, Shad?
Shadrach.
Shad."
Where's Shad? What's going on, Shad?
A Bendigo?
I knew where you were going.
Okay.
I knew where you were going.
Okay. I was like, oh, I hope somebody gets this.
I did not.
Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego.
Yeah.
Nope, nothing.
Nothing.
I have no idea what that was even about. What's happening right now?
Oh, it's some biblical bullshit.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
I'm surprised you don't know that though.
Yeah,
What?
with
Because
the
of all your
Catholic
Catholic
school.
school stuff.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I didn't.
He didn't remember
He
any.
didn't pay attention in Catholic
No,
school.
I wasn't because I
Eric
was too busy.
running from the priest.
That's yes, I was actually.
Fair,
No,
fair.
I was too busy thinking about how ridiculous those stories are. Like I don't remember names. I just know that like
Dude,
there's
some
no
of-
way they got 2 of every animal on a boat
And then
in a rainstorm. Like you ever try to catch a dog when there's thunder? Like you can't.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb, and not that I have any like sort of belief systems that this matters for, but the story was not like, "Hey, the world's flooding right now. Get into the boat." I'm just saying that came months and months beforehand.
Either way, have you ever tried to get 2 of your friends in the same place at the same time without having to deal with 42 different?
I'm not saying that you don't have some sound logic here, but I'm gonna tear the parts that don't have any apart.
well, okay, at least Catholicism has more sound logic than a lot of other religions.
Does it though?
Probably not, but I've been
Wait.
watching a Scientology documentary.
Oh well,
and that is
Scientology.
whack.
Scientology is so fucking crazy that Michael Jackson said, "No, I'm good." Like they legitimately reached out and like tried to get Michael Jackson to be part of Scientology because they're always looking for like big celebrity names,
Yeah,
right?
like Tom
And
Cruise.
he went to one meeting,
something or other.
huh?
Doesn't matter.
Tom
Carry
Cruise.
on.
Tom Cruise is Scientologist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He went to one meeting and was like, "Nope, no thanks. I'm gonna go hang out with my monkey and my llama. But you guys are too fucking crazy, even for me, Michael Jackson." So, yeah, Scientology
Yeah.
is fucked.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, and I don't care to.
I don't know. It's pretty interesting, just like learning about. It's interesting. Okay, so in school I learned, because I'm studying political science, so I
Yeah.
learned that power is getting people to believe that they're happy with the things that you're giving them, and so it's
Okay.
interesting to watch that like implemented in a religion or like a power structure like Scientology.
Yeah.
It's just as fascinating to me.
Would you say that again?
Which part?
The power is the...
Yeah, so the definition of power is getting someone to believe that they're happy with the things that you're giving them.
Like from a psychological definition or...
That's just how we define it in political science.
Oh, okay, a
Yeah.
political
Yeah, so-
science definition.
Yeah, so like the government makes you believe that you're happy living in
Right, no,
whatever
I
system.
totally,
Yeah.
totally feel what you're saying, and it's annoying, and I get it. Are you Googling it?
Power?
Yeah.
Yes. The dictionary version of power,
Which dictionary?
not the political science dictionary, it says it is a noun. The ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. Example, the power of speech. Number 2, the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. Example, she had me under her power.
Yeah.
It can also be used.
sex
It can also be. Well played, sir. It can also be used as a verb. Which, where is it? Where did it go now? I hit the thing and it's gone. I hate technology. I'm old. All right. So, you know what? Never mind. It's not what you said. It's something different.
But no, a lot of what you just said fits what she said, but hers is more like with more precision. I feel like.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the goal of most politicians, though, right? Is to like make you feel like, oh no, they're doing everything I want them to do, even though everything else is shit. But look how happy he looks making me do this stuff. Like that's how you're a successful politician. Like vote for me, I'll do this, but really I'm going to do this.
I don't know about success as far as like being a powerful politician, sure. And if the idea of being a successful politician is to be able to influence people in that capacity, then sure, yeah. But not all politicians have that frame of mind, I don't think. I mean, there might be the general...
Well, you have to have a little bit of it. I mean, if At least the ones who get elected probably do. Like
but
if you can win an election, then you've probably got a lot of that, whatever it is that.
Well, I mean,